after 5 o'clock. I am the doctor. All right, we are in the middle of a big question about gay rights in the state of Michigan, as well as all across America. You know, all across America, especially a couple of weeks ago, the issue of gay marriage came to the forefront because President Obama now flip-flopped back to being in favor of it, and it's been going crazy. In the state of Michigan, we've been battling the idea that there should be a special coverage. You would have the protected class of gay and lesbian people in the state, that they should now join a level of a protected class. Now, some local municipalities are considering this on their own. Monday night, there was a hearing in Jackson about support for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people being protected from discrimination as, you know, part of this protected class. Here's what I don't understand about that. Why wouldn't all people be protected? When we start talking about protected classes, whether it's based on race or religion, why would anybody not be protected? You ever think about that? When you push for more protections, what you're saying is there are some people, based on whatever it is, that shouldn't be protected. I just think that's really, really interesting. Some people, apparently, according to them, shouldn't be protected. Now, you've got a Senator, Rebecca Warren. She's from Ann Arbor. She introduced legislation to amend Michigan's Civil Rights Act to include protection of gays and transgender people. Why wouldn't you include all people under civil rights for whatever? You're essentially, by saying we're going to pick people that can't be discriminated against, saying that there are some that can be. We got new information that says there is strong public support now for the first time for same-sex marriage. This is according to an ABC Washington Post poll. They say that 53% of Americans say gay marriage should be legal. But here's the interesting thing. Anytime it's been on the ballot for a vote of the people about gay marriage, it has fallen every time. The states that have legalized same-sex marriage, it's all been done either by the legislature or through the courts. It's never been done by a vote of the people. When it was on the ballot in Michigan, it failed by 18%. 18%. I think I know what's behind the big gay marriage push. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But first, I told you I'd tell you about the DC comic character that is coming out of the closet. DC Comics a while ago decided that they wanted a comic book hero who was a homotype sexual. So they were going to introduce a new character and say, this character is a homotype sexual. But then according to the senior VP of sales of DC Comics, when the president came out and had his flip-flop on same-sex marriage, they decided that the character in DC Comics that would be gay, that they will announce as gay and center a storyline around his gayness, will be an existing character that you already know.
Oh, my.
So what they're doing is they're changing a character or saying that he's always been in the closet. Who will that character be? Who do you think the gay character is going to be? Now, this is DC Comics. So DC is all of the characters that are in the same universe with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the Flash, the Green Arrow, the Green Lantern, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, all of those. Black Canary.
Your knowledge of this is truly amazing.
I've got the list right here in front of me.
Oh, okay.
That's a lie. The Marvel comics are the ones that are around the Avengers movie that was just out, the X-Men, Hulk, Iron Man, any of the, who else has been out recently with those? Spider-Man, that's all Marvel. So who in the DC universe do you think they're going to now come out and say is gay? I would love to hear your theories on this. 248-356-1270. 248-356-1270. Who in the DC universe do you think is or would be most likely to come out of the closet?
I'm going to go with Robin.
I am with you 100%, Boz.
Thank you.
That is there any question that Robin is a little bit fruity.
Well, didn't he have a nickname? Wasn't
Because the character's real name is Dick. When he's not, that's his alter ego,
All right.
his real ID.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's Dick Grayson, right? Yeah, I think he might be. Yeah, he might be a little misguided. I say because he's a little, effeminate.
A little?
A lot effeminate.
Okay.
I think you can make an argument though for Batman.
See, I think Batman's kind of likely myself.
I think Batman is likely to be a homotype sexual. Although he is very strong and dark and whatever, he does have that troubled past, and he runs around with Robin,
who wears short shorts.
Who wears short shorts and is his ward. You're just a billionaire who lives in a mansion, running around in tights at night on rooftops, and you decide to take in a young boy who is always at your side.
It's got to be Batman. That just makes the most sense. He's kind of a recluse, lives in his own little bat cave.
See what I'm saying? Never hooked up with Batgirl, right?
No.
Or Catwoman.
Or Catwoman. Yeah.
Well, and my understanding was that Catwoman was a lesbian. I'm almost certain that was a storyline at one point.
Where did you hear that?
I saw some research. I'm almost certain.
Was that in a movie or in the comic book?
I believe that was in one of the comic books.
That would have made Batman Returns a lot better.
So I think we've made a solid argument for those two when it comes to the DC universe, right? Let me bring up a couple of others.
You got to look at the Flash too.
Now, what is your argument for the Flash? Just that he looks effeminate?
His costume just looks the most fabulous, if you will.
You can't say it that way. If you're going to say fabulous in that reference, it looks the most
fabulous.
There it is. I can make an argument for Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is possible.
She's an Amazon. She lives on an island full of women. Right?
That's a good call.
She's an Amazon. I think it's likely that she may be not from Paradise Island, but rather from the Isle of Lesbos, if you know what I mean.
There you go.
What about Superman, though?
Oh, he did like Lois, though. That one's a difficult one.
Could have been a front.
Could have been the beard?
Lois could have been a beard.
Lois was a beard for Superman, is what you're saying.
You don't know, is what I'm saying. It could be.
What about outside of the comic book universe? Still a superhero.
Okay.
Nonetheless, He-Man. He wore that fuzzy jockstrap and like the weird bondage thing. He had his hair bobbed and everything.
Boz, I'm going to go ahead and give you that one. That was pretty.
Thank you.
That's a pretty solid one. Well, tell me what you think. In the DC universe, who is likely the character that will come out? I think they're going to make an impact. I don't think it's going to be one of these fringe characters that people know. I think they're going to make it a solid, known character. So who do you think? 248-356-1270. 248-356-1270. And while we're at it, are there any other closeted superheroes? Now, you remember when they came out that the Teletubbies, who was that Jerry Falwell, said the Teletubbies were gay?
The purple, Tinky Winky,
yeah,
the
it was
purple
just
one.
Tinky Winky because of his triangle.
Don't lump all the Teletubbies in there into one group.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stereotype.
And it was because he carried a purse.
He carried a purse. Is he pink or purple? And then he had the triangle on his head, which is a gay symbol. The triangle's a gay symbol. And then you remember probably a year or so ago, they came out that the speculation was that Bert and Ernie were gay.
Yeah. Well, and two, after J.K. Rowling had finished her recent series of a Harry Potter book, she came out saying that Dumbledore is gay.
So you can make a solid argument for some of these, like Bert and Ernie.
Especially Bert and Ernie.
I mean, they're middle-aged. They live together.
Yep.
They're neat.
Bert's always yelling at him.
Always arguing like a married couple.
They're very close.
They wear each other's clothes.
All the bath time songs.
All the rubber ducky bath time, whatever. They're not only gay. They're a couple. They're.
I think that might have been the first unofficial married couple.
I think it's a common law marriage is what I think you got going on there.
Yeah.
At the very least, a civil union.
I can make an argument for several other characters over the years, though, that you grew up with, and you may poo-poo them.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you some of the arguments. What about Peppermint Patty?
Yes.
Am I on to something, Boz?
Yes.
Peppermint Patty, the
I hope not.
Lovable character with peanuts. Charlie Brown. She wore sandals.
Yeah, like Birkenstock-looking sandals,
exactly, right. She was a little tomboy-esque, and she had that sidekick, Marcy, who called her Sir. Called her. I mean, that is as obvious as it gets. Peppermint Patty was a lesbian. I'm sorry. It's just time you face up to it.
Similar hairdo as He-Man, too. Like a hair bob of sorts.
Snagglepuss. Do you remember Snagglepuss? Snagglepuss was part of the Hanna-Barbera universe. Snagglepuss is gay. I'm sorry. Snagglepuss is pink.
Oh, yeah.
He was the lion, right? He was pink. He wore cufflinks. Always overdressed, right? Very serious about his fashion.
He didn't wear anything but cufflinks and a tie.
And a tie, right, exactly. And yet was also in the theater. Exit, stage left even in. Laughing all the way. And while I'm at it, he spoke like this even in. Doesn't he just sound stereotypically effeminate and maybe even homotype sexual? Snagglepuss is gay, sorry. So you got Peppermint Patty and Snagglepuss. Is there anybody that's going to dispute that?
No.
Okay. Fred Flintstone. He
was married. Come on.
It was a beard.
Okay.
Did he not wear a dress?
That's what he had at the time. He didn't have a tailor. He couldn't have...
Did he wear a dress?
I don't know why I'm defending Fred Flintstone so much.
Wore a dress. And what did that dress have on it? What was it?
Triangles, wasn't it?
It was triangles that we already established was the gay symbol. Fred Flintstone wearing a dress with the gay symbol. And how much time did he spend with his wife or the ladies?
Very little.
He was always trying to get away from them and go where?
Bowling?
Bowling with the boys, and secondarily to the Loyal Order of the Water Buffalo, hanging out at a lodge. And as I say lodge, picture me making the little air quotes, his lodge.
Actually, our program director proved us wrong. I think it was Barney that had the triangles, because...
This is Fred. Those are little triangles. They just didn't draw them right. Look it up online. This is Fred. What are you doing? She brought me in a Fred bobble body.
They look like teardrops here.
They drew him wrong. Back on the show, Fred was gay. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny, I don't think was gay. I think Bugs was he played for both teams. I think Bugs was a switch hitter. I think so. Well, think about it.
He did wear that dress an awful lot.
He wore the dress, right? And often kissing Elmer and Sam and whatever man was around, but always got all goofed up when the girl rabbit was around.
But see, now you're getting into interspecies homosexuality, though.
I'm just calling him like I see him. I mean, you're right about that, and that takes it to another level.
That's just wrong.
It is wrong. He didn't wear pants, but he did dress up as the girl, so he's kind of a cross-dresser there. I mean, once or twice you'd say it's a gag, but how many times did that happen, right?
You can't dress up like a chick that many times and have it be a gag.
I'm saying I have questions about Bugs, some serious questions. Olive oil. Oh,
come on. That's Popeye's, girlies. No.
Let me ask you this, Boz. I want you to think back to what olive oil looked like. Did she display any of the physical attributes that are stereotypically associated with females?
No, she was missing some curves. You're right.
She looked like a dude. Let's face it. Olive oil looked like a dude.
Just because of the non-curves?
Not just because of the non-curves. Her face and the whole thing. She had the short hairdo, was pulled back. She looked like a dude.
Are you talking about the cartoon one actually looked like a dude, or the one that played her in the movie?
Oh, the movie can't count that.
Okay, I'm just curious.
That's not Sissy Spacek. No, it was the cartoon. Yeah, she's clearly a dude. But who do you think is going to be the DC character, or what other characters do you have you always speculated may be gay? Do you remember on the Warner Brother cartoons the two little chipmunks, not Chip and Dale on Disney? They were like little chipmunks. They might have been blue or whatever. Oh, after you. No, after you. I insist. No, after you. Let's do it together. I have some really questions about those guys, too. 248-356-1270. Your calls coming up next. Talk Radio 1270. It's Talk Radio 1270, and I'm Doc Thompson. What DC character, long-time DC character, do you speculate they will have come out of the closet? To the phones we go. Charles in Detroit. Who do you think, man?
Hey, I'm thinking maybe Green Lantern. He's a... Green
Lantern or Green Arrow?
I'm sorry, Green Arrow. He's really a straight shooter,
Do you know the backstory on him? I think he is a rich guy too.
Yeah, I used to know his name, but it slips me right now.
I think they had him in a love affair with the Black Canary or whatever her name is at times. So maybe they would say she was kind of a ruse the whole time.
His secret identity is Oliver Queen, if that makes any difference.
And then you got to take into account, if they're getting good sales from certain character. They don't want to tarnish him.
They don't want to screw it up. Robin, they tried to reinvent over the years and give him his own comic book and make him more strong and edgy. But
I love you guys, Robin. I mean, come on, Dick Grayson, come on.
I'm just saying. I mean, you questioned, and maybe we're all tainted by the old TV show where they were pretty effeminate.
On that as my second one.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call. 248-356-1270. DC Comics has said they are going to turn one gay.
Also,
they're going to have him come out of the closet. Turn him gay?
Yeah.
If you didn't know, are they turning him gay?
That doesn't sound consensual at all.
And you are correct. He was a billionaire, and he was the mayor of the fictional Star City.
Wow, all the signs were there. They were giving us signs all along. Oliver Queen.
Back in 41, they were giving us the...
OQ, his initials. Yeah, that's Star City. Now, the funny thing is, Marvel has already had some gay characters.
Yeah.
The X-Men have...
A few, actually. Quite a few.
Yeah, the X-Men has North Star. North Star was part of Alpha Flight, the Canadian mutant team.
Yes.
Which, it's hard to imagine why that failed. I mean, a Canadian superhero? Come on. Seriously? And then what happens? The Canadian hero ends up being gay. What a shock that is. Yoo-hoo! Right? Come on. North Star, actually, in X-Men number 51, marries his boyfriend. But they have another one that joined the young mutant groups, the New Mutants, and this is hilarious. The young gay character that they unveiled as part of the X-Men's New Mutants in 2003, his name is Anal.
Spell it for him.
Anole. I guess it could be Anoli, but darn it, that's close enough to anal, and you're going to make him gay. Not one person in all of the Marvel Universe said, hey, guys, how about we change the name up just a bit? I mean, it is so close to anal. I mean, it's Anole. Anoli? Anal?
It's anal.
Did you catch that, Boz? The gay character's name is Anal. Wouldn't you think somebody would say, guys, we're going to make him gay? How about...
I just can't... I'm just surprised it was,
Yeah, that somebody...
That.
Eric in Southfield, DC character you think they're going to turn gay. Who do you think it is?
I think all the DC characters.
You make a good point, though. For those people who like the Marvel Universe, the DC ones were pretty gay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who led the pack, though? Is it Robin? Is it the Batman?
There are quite a bit, but I'd probably say Green Lantern was one of the top ones that comes to mind.
Yeah, his power was a ring.
Yeah.
It was a power ring. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate the comments. Thanks so much. The power ring. Yeah, Green Lantern. And there was a lot of Green Lanterns, too.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. All right, who is behind gay marriage? Who is behind the big push for gay marriage? Now, likely, you'd say, well, any of the gay groups, anything like that, any of the extreme liberals. You've got the president, politicians. Of course, all of them are in the tank for their own selfish reasons. But I'm going to unveil who I think is also behind the big push for gay marriage and maybe driving all of it. They may be the puppet master. They may be the man behind the curtain that you should pay no attention to who is really driving gay marriage. What do they always say? If you want to know something, follow the money. The average price tag last year of a wedding, $27,000, the average. Who is behind gay marriage? Big Cake. Big Cake is behind. Like big oil, big cake. Big cake, big dress, big limo, big flower, big wedding is behind the gay marriage, I believe. Why wouldn't they be? Right? How many homotype sexuals are out there?
I hadn't even thought about that. That is a tremendous point.
Isn't that amazing? Why wouldn't you be?
Well, then how much money is out there in traditional weddings anyway? Why not throw in a whole other lump of people you can go ahead and get monies from?
It is an untapped resource. You've got a whole group of people who are running around, shacking up, still doing all of the traditional things that married couples will do, except they get to sidestep the whole process of putting out now on average $27,000. Right?
So David Tutera is behind the gay marriage.
He's gay. David Tutera.
Oh, he's big wedding too.
He's also big wedding, so of course he's going to be behind this. Now, if the average price of a wedding is $27,000, do you think that the average price for a fabulous wedding would be under $27,000 or over $27,000?
I think it's going to be a little bit higher at least.
Exactly.
Come on.
You've got two brides now who are wanting a fabulous wedding. They're going to spend. They are going to spend. Everything has to be perfect. Beautiful. Lots of flowers. I mean, yeah, I'm stereotyping a bit there.
Well, and it's their triumph, too, over something that they weren't able to do, and now they are able to. It's big wedding. You're right.
It's big hall, big ring, big shoes, big flower. It's all big wedding that is behind the push for gay marriage. I have now exposed them. Do you blame them, though? You own a flower shop, and in today's world, you have an opportunity to double your business. Well, maybe it wouldn't even be double, but you would certainly add a whole bunch. And at the beginning, if you had an influx of people that are all running to get married, all of those that have been denied, so it's the hot issue, right? And they all run off and get it done. You've got tens of thousands of people in any area probably that are ready to go out and get married. If you get even the smallest fraction of their business, you are raking in the do-re-mi. And knowing that marriages fail about 50% of the time, you're going to have them as repeat offenders. Repeat business when they go to get married again. Man, that's big. This is like, do you remember when they tried to come out with fingernail polish for men?
No.
Oh, this was about 6-8 years ago, maybe 10, that they did a big push. It was Revlon or somebody that does nail polish, and they put out a big push, a whole line of male-targeted nail polish, and it was masculine colors and all of this. The reason you've not heard about it is because it's a horrible idea and failed miserably. But from their perspective, 50% of the population, dudes. If we can tap into those dudes, we double our business. And all of the metrosexual activities, any of those businesses, spas and pedicures and manicures or whatever, are now seeing that influx of business. Who's behind gay marriage? Big wedding. Big wedding. Big ice sculptor. Big Horsey ovaries.
What's that?
Horsey, those things they serve, appetizers.
Hors d'oeuvres?
That's it. Big hors d'oeuvres, big DJ, big band, big lighting, big hall, big decoration, big rice, right? Big bubbles. What are you laughing at?
Rice and bubbles?
Yeah, you throw rice and you got the bubbles. They're all behind the gay marriage.
I thought you weren't allowed to, or not supposed to throw rice anymore. Like hurt the birds or something? That's completely off topic.
No, I'm not concerned about the birds. I may be behind it now, too, if I think they're going to double down on hurting those stupid geese by throwing the rice. All right. 248-356-1270. More of your calls. Are you with me that big wedding is behind gay marriage? 248-356-1270.
Doc Thompson.